Okay, joining us next on the Marmy Rock Show, it's our first time being here. They're I the Mighty from San Francisco. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it, joining us from a rest stop. I appreciate them pulling over because they are out on the road right now. They've released a brand new record that I love called Where the Mind Wants to Go, Where You Let It Go. Came out on October 20th. We have added the tune Pet Names to our Golden Dozen. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited to talk to you guys. I'm kind of new to your band. I'll be honest and admit that to you. By the way, for folks that don't know, we've got Blake, Brent, and Chris with us. So you guys have been releasing a nice string of records for the last couple years now. So, and this one is no doubt my favorite. So tell us a little bit about the making of this record, where it was recorded, and who produced it.
Yeah, we recorded this one for the first time, I guess, not down in LA. All the previous albums we had done down there. So it was nice to go up to Seattle and Portland to do this one. We did the guitars and vocals with Casey Bates up in Seattle, and then after that we drove down to Portland and did the bass and drums with Chris Crummett. So it was a great experience. We've loved both of those guys for a long time, and it was really great to get the opportunity to work with both of them.
So I mentioned Pet Names was the tune that I was immediately drawn to, and it was the song that caught my attention right away. Tell me a little bit more about that tune.
Well, Pet Names is, lyrically, it's just a breakup song, essentially. Just about not handling a breakup very well. I went through sort of a tumultuous breakup during the recording process of the record, so a lot of the songs on the record ended up being kind of inspired by that.
One of the things I made note of that I really love about your band, and I might have you elaborate a little bit more on that, is the lyrics. Like, I don't know how to put my finger on it exactly, but you guys aren't about like rock and roll cliches and rock and roll all night. Your lyrics have a very modern, creative feel to them. Talk a little bit more about the lyrics.
I always just feel like you should write from the heart. So a lot of the lyrics come from very direct, really sorry. A lot of the lyrics just come from like very direct things from my life. A lot of them are, directly, especially there's 6 songs on the record that are actually all kind of about a story of a relationship from beginning to end, and a lot of that is taken just very directly from things in my life. So, I like to try to write stuff that's very genuine to me.
Now, I'd be curious to know if this one falls into it, because one of the ones I really wanted to know a little bit more about the lyrics too was the 111 Winchester tune. That's kind of an interesting song.
With the exception of the really personal stuff, I also just really like to tell stories. So throughout our whole discography, there have been a bunch of songs that are literally just kind of larger than life stories. There's a series of 3 songs that are put across 3 records that are called the Frame series, which is like an epic tale. But 111 Winchester is basically inspired by a mixture of a few things, a mixture of Casper, a mixture of Stranger Things, which is where 11 came from. But we ended up recording the record right down the street from 111th Street, so we ended up changing it last minute. And the Winchester Mystery House, are you familiar with that?
I am not.
So the Winchester Mystery House is this thing out in San Jose. The widow of the guy who invented the Winchester rifle, after he died, she thought that she was being haunted by everyone who was ever killed by a Winchester rifle. So for 38 years straight, she built onto her house. She built like staircases that led to nowhere and trap doors and all this crazy stuff. And it's just weird timing. They're actually coming out with a movie called Winchester now. We just saw the preview for it like a couple days ago.
So, you guys are on tour right now. I think you're in New York tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us a little bit more about the tour.
The tour is going really well. It's called the Where the Mind Wants to Go tour. We have our good friends Good Tiger and Hail the Sun out with us. Tonight's actually an off day. We're traveling to New York right now from North Carolina. But New York's tomorrow, then Boston. And it's been going really well. Got a bunch of sold-out dates already, and it looks like we're going to sell out a bunch more. And it's just been the most successful tour we've ever done, so we're just really excited.
So I'm pretty sure you had a show on Halloween. Did you guys dress up? And if so, let me hear about the costumes.
We did. We wanted to plan something more extravagant like Game of Thrones, but we ended up just not having any time. We were literally in San Francisco, and 6 days later we were in Florida. We were just been flying across the country. So the only time we had was like the morning of the show, so we went to a thrift store and just found whatever we had. But I was 11 from Stranger Things. I actually found pretty much everything for the costume. Blake?
I was a hula girl without the lay, so I did it the best I could.
I found a pair of camouflage overalls at the thrift store, and I got a camouflage bandana and some camouflage sunglasses, and I just kind of went shirtless
almost semi commando for the show.
You look like Duck Dynasty.
I looked like Duck Dynasty without a shirt underneath it. I just basically had overalls without a shirt on, so I was essentially a Duck Dynasty redneck.
Yeah, so we were just a bunch of misfits, just random things, but it ended up being really cool. Worked out.
Hey, so you did something pretty cool when you released this album called a pop-up CD release, which I really haven't heard that term before. But for those not familiar, tell us about how you released the CD and what the pop-up CD release show was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was we had it down in LA, just like 5 hours south of where we're from in the Bay Area of San Francisco. And we just had I think it was about 70 to 80 cap room, just a small little room near downtown LA. We had some like homemade cupcakes with like the album art, and just had just friends and some people from our management team out. We played a couple of acoustic songs. That was a lot of fun from the new record. It was actually, I think, the first time we really played any songs from the new record live was acoustic. So, and then Tillian Pearson from Dance Gavin Dance, who sings on Silvertongues, came out and sang that song with us acoustically. So it was a lot of fun and just a really fun way to celebrate the release of the record. It was actually the first time any of the four of us saw the album in person too. Our label had the CDs there, so we had to see them for the first time, which was really rewarding and cool. It was just a fun way to celebrate. We have a lot of friends down in LA, so to get to share that with them and some fans that came out was really fun. We had not to go on too long, but we had we have a Facebook community page that we just started a month and a half ago or so, and we kind of announced it on there and had 60. It was basically the first 60 people to respond we put on the list to get in. So it was just a free show basically, and it was just a fun way to celebrate with people the release of the record.
Looked like a great time, some of the videos I saw from that one. Now, you've got a music video out for the song Chaos in Motion, and when I'm watching the video, at first, the concept looks kind of simple, but I'm kind of guessing that maybe that video took an awful lot of time to set up and create. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just spurred from a conference call we had with our manager. We were just kind of thinking of some sort of viral video. We're actually planning on shooting another video for that song that's kind of like us actually performing, that we might actually be flying to the Ukraine for, which could be really cool. But this was sort of just to get the song out early, and we just kind of thought that could be kind of fun to put together an idea of just a video that would kind of irk people a little bit, and just a bunch of stuff that just seemed imperfect and that might be kind of annoying just to fit the song Chaos in Motion, the title at least. So we just had a really long brainstorming session over the phone and found a really the director is actually the guy who does the Tasty videos and stuff. I don't know if you've seen the Tasty cooking videos on Facebook.
Yeah.
So he brought a really cool, unique eye and vision to it as well.
Now, hey, I want to let you guys tell folks that might be coming to see you all. I know you offer some VIP experiences, so for people that might be coming to see the tour, tell them what they can get at a VIP.
It's really cool. It's we're doing this thing called Inception to Master. So basically, we're talking people through the record, showing people early demos, kind of giving an overall experience of what it was like to make the record and pull the curtain back a little bit, as well as a gift with goodie bags, a booklet with crossword puzzle and Mad Libs and guitar tabs and a Polaroid picture with the band, and just kind of trying to do something different. A lot of VIP packages are an acoustic show and a picture or something, so we wanted to try to make it a little more of a unique experience.
So one of the, I know you're probably not too familiar with our show. One of the things that's unique about our show is we do rock, no matter what rock is, all kinds of the different genres. And I'm sitting here looking at a post you made, and it's one of the things that drew me to you guys is on Billboard right now, you're hitting the indie chart, the rock chart, the alternative chart, and the hard music chart. So has that been a niche for you guys that you kind of span so many genres?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this record probably more so than our priors, but every record it's funny reading the different reviews from different magazines, because some magazines will label us like a post-hardcore band, and other ones a progressive band, and sometimes a pop band. So we've always kind of been this mishmash of genres, and this record definitely exemplifies that part of our music for sure.
How hard is that when you tour to try to figure out who you're going to tour with? Because is there one genre that's bubbled up the most that at a live show at least that you mesh the best with, or do you just kind of switch it up from time to time?
I mean, in general, that's kind of been our Achilles heel. At least when we first started, it was really hard to get tours when we first started because we weren't, excuse me, we weren't heavy enough for the heavy tours, and we weren't poppy enough for the poppy tours. But now that we've kind of been around for 9 years and we've like made a name for ourselves and kind of carved our own path, if you will, it's kind of cool because we do actually fit. We have fit on a lot of different tours, so we actually have a lot more opportunities now that were worth tickets, and we actually have a draw. It's kind of lent us to more tours now.
Hey, so I know you got to get back on the road, but one more thing before I let you go here. You're coming up, you just mentioned 9 years, you're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the band, and congratulations on that, since the first EP out there. Does the band have anything special planned for 10 years, or have you not even really thought about it yet?
We should. That's a good idea.
We should start planning something, I guess. No, I mean we have some like unreleased material that might be fun to release. We've got a few ideas, but no, we haven't really sat down and had a full-on brainstorming session about a cool way to celebrate it. But it is a pretty cool milestone. We've had the same 4 members, the same management team. We've even been on the same label now for over 6 years. So yeah, we've just been doing it together for a long time.
Well, everything you just said is not something a lot of bands can say. And guys, I really appreciate you being here. They're I the Mighty. They're from San Francisco. They're on their way tonight to New York for a show. They're up and down the East Coast right now at this point in time in the tour. The album is Where the Mind Wants to Go, Where You Let It Go. The tune Pet Names is in our golden dozen right now. And guys, I really appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks a lot for taking the time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.